welcome to the first episode of The Tower, our Mage the Ascension campaign. I will be your storyteller, and as far as our channel goes tonight, we don't have very many announcements. Be sure to check in this Sunday for the final episode of Erethian Nights for this season, as our adventurers finally determine if what they've worked so hard for is worth having. Outside of that, you can check me out all over the internet at Big Dudery. But now it is time for us to introduce these wonderful people who will be playing with me tonight. And we will be starting with Sir Monolith.
Hi, I'm at Sir Monolith on the Twitters, and I'll be playing Oliver Frost here tonight. I also play in Erethian Nights, which we're, like Reese said, finishing up here next week for a little while anyway. And keep an eye out for The Price of Power for whenever that's coming back, which will probably be after the holidays. But no guarantees, so you got to keep an eye on this channel. But anyway, looking forward to what's coming up tonight.
All right, next up, Quinn.
Well, hello. My name is Quinn. I do things with people sometimes, but mainly I'm a longtime D&D lover, and I'm branching out into some other tabletop games, Mage being one of them, Altered Carbon being another one of them, and so that's kind of what my years is going to be like. So happy to be here, and hopefully not kill everyone on our first game. We'll see how it goes. It's happened, so I figure I'd give it a content warning. Yeah.
You probably won't die today. All right, next up, Kira.
Probably.
Hi, I'm Kira858, and I am playing Chiharu Samson. You know what? I'll leave most information about this character to be revealed during the episode. In terms of content that I'm working on, I'll save that to the end of the episode. So you know what, Ree? Take it away.
All right, then last but certainly not the least, Carly.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm playing Bonnie. I'm at Carly Plays Games on Twitter, and I really enjoy playing World of Darkness games.
I probably should have mentioned I'm playing Erik. I don't do this very often. So
Hi, Erik.
Well, now that our cast has been introduced, it is time for us to find out what they're up to. The world of darkness is home to many things, from werewolves to vampires to spirits to aliens. But today we will be interacting with perhaps the most fragile of these creatures. We find our camera focusing in on a very large pyramid floating above a massive waterfall. This pyramid is filled with luscious forest life, green plants of differing types, differing colors, of differing just about everything imaginable. But we find ourselves standing with two people who are overlooking a very impressive garden. In front of them, you see stone statues moving about, tending to plants and animals. Chiharu, what do you look like today?
So Chiharu has long curly hair that wraps down their face, and it's also pulled into a ponytail that also cascades around and envelopes their cheeks. They look to be around 19, 20 years old. Appears to be a biracial descent of half black, half Japanese. Relatively athletic, standing at around 6'1". They have a white hoodie that is sleeveless, that has black and light blue lacing around the edges of the sleeves, that then flows down to really loose black and light blue, almost Tron-like pants, and these nice sneakers. That's what they look like at the moment.
All right, and you are standing next to Oliver, as the two of you are watching a caryatid statue. For those of you who are not quite aware, it is a kind of a marble statue of a female, usually, that is holding something up. But in this case, they are moving about, taking care of the various processes in the Chantry. But before we get into that, Oliver, what do you look like today?
Well, Oliver is, if we're just in a more casual setting at the Chantry, he's probably wearing what? Well, it's never really business casual. He's got probably a pair of suit pants on, and he's and maybe like a little, yeah, I guess business casual, like not no not I don't call it not a polo shirt, but like a collared shirt, kind of like a polo shirt but different material. And he stands about 3.5 feet tall, and he's usually always carrying around a book, which looks very oversized for him because of his stature. And he fancies himself. He fancies his cane that he uses to help with things, which I guess technically it's more of a staff for him. But it depends. He can it collapses down a little bit, so he can use it as just a walking stick if he needs to. And he's got a pair of glasses on, and probably fairly pale skin. He's of Danish descent, but his parents. He's trying to distance himself from his parents, and set out on his kind of his own to prove that he can do stuff, especially now that he's a mage, because he's like, ha ha, you know. And so he's got a little bit of a bone to pick, but yeah, he's also he's staring very intently at this thing that we're watching. He finds it all fascinating.
Okay. And as you two are waiting, you know that you have a meeting with the master of the Chantry in about 10 minutes. You've known that there is a few more of you, some people you've worked with in the past, but it's been a few years since you've seen them. As you all are standing here overlooking this garden, what are you doing?
I would say Chiharu has their legs crossed, gently absorbing the scene, taking in the sounds, smells, examining the key of the different areas. And they occasionally glance at Oliver, but they figure our way of looking at magic and different aspect is perhaps drastically different. So while they respect Oliver per se, they're not trying to incorporate them as saying their standard method of meditation. So you just see them calmly taking deep breaths, staying very still at certain times. And they'll occasionally look at Oliver before going back to the absorbing the sights.
You said they're doing kind of like a ritual. Did you say, was it like a dancing type of ritual?
Oh
they
no,
were doing?
across legs. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. And I didn't mean you though. I meant the thing we were watching.
Mm-hmm.
No, you all are seeing what looks to be tall, about 10-foot tall female statues that are going about and tending to the garden in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so animated statues. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, Oliver's probably just watching, maybe even, trying to get a little bit of a closer look, just, completely, it doesn't matter what he sees as far as magic is concerned, unless it's just, something that seems more like a parlor trick, for, a stage show, which, can also be impressive if it's done with actual magic. But he's always kind of impressed and excited to see and discover new things. That's why he spends a lot of time in his library and like searching for new rare books to add to it.
Okay. We're just doing a quick look over. You can tell that these statues appear to be made out of marble. You do not know the exact magic that has been used to animate them the way they are, but you are pretty sure that they are constructed by human hands. They are not some sort of spirit. Outside of that, though, you'd have to spend some time to do some research on the actual effect animating them.
Do they have a particular like cultural style or? We'll have to
No,
roll for
looking
that.
at them, some of them look to be traditionally Greek in design, but others seem to have a Puerto Rican aspect to it that seems kind of make them look more natural. Others have a bit of a Japanese bent to it. From what you've understood, some of them came and were constructed here. Others were gifted to the owners of this chantry.
That's cool. You said I have to take more time. I mean, right now he's not really busy doing anything else. Would he be able to spend time to think back on like any of his knowledges to learn more about them, or?
You can try to roll an intelligence and occult roll or esoterica. The difficulty for this is going to be 7 if you have not, as you're just kind of looking at over them.
Okay. Oops. Wait. I think I'll go with esoterica for 500. They're both the same, but I'm interested in the information I'll get from esoterica. I'm not changing the name. It's fine. Difficulties at 7 and 2 successes.
You understand the basics of the ritual that is working on them. You understand that the effect is one that doesn't quite create a living thing, but it creates something very close to it. You know that it is definitely of the mind sphere, but you aren't quite sure how much command is needed to control them. And you also know that you definitely need to be able to use matter to kind of get the pieces to operate the way that you would want them to. You also know that whoever created them would have to be considerably powerful to be able to use this many combined effects on one thing and for it to last as long as it has.
Let alone multiple statues.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, Oliver is gonna. The book that he carries around is kind of a notebook of sorts, where he jots down, things that he learns about stuff to just kind of keep track. He gets new ones when he needs them, but it's not really like a reference piece because we're in the modern age. You can use your phone or digital device for that, or if you're a mage, obviously you can use magic for that. So he's going to be scribbling down some notes about what he's remembering, or at least realizing. Well, Chiharu's over there meditating.
Are we the only 2 individuals in the facility or in this location?
You are the only ones in this area. You are kind of on a balcony that is overlooking this section of the garden, but there are other people in the chantry itself.
So in this area, if we cast any sort of magic, it's all considered it's not vulgar, right? It's considered coincidental.
Yes, you understand that as long as the magic is not technological in basis, it will be considered coincidental here.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think they're going to just enjoy the scene, enjoy the piece. Are they aware who have crafted these items? Have they been here before they entered the chantry, or have they been? Are they a recent addition to the chantry?
Chiharu would know. Really, all of you would know. The statues have been here longer than you have, but you don't know if they were made here or if someone brought them here.
Who is the lead or head of our chantry?
I would say, since I don't believe any of you have status, you all will know, generally, there are 3 master ranked mages that live here. The one that you've seen the most or interacted with the most is Michaela Sanabria, a Puerto Rican woman in her 40s. You know that she is the most active of the 3, but you don't know if she is the one who created these statues. She's kind of the more social of the 3 as far as you would be aware.
Michaela Sanabria, correct?
Yes, I will spell that for you all in the Zoom.
Thank you. And how large is our chantry?
You
Like
haven't
how
done
many?
a full. You haven't heard a full numerical standard, but it is probably as big as the Great Pyramid of Giza, as far as you could tell. It is a very large structure,
How many
and it is
people is
terraced.
how many people is in our group?
From what you would know, because you have been here for a decent amount of time, amongst the awakened, there's about 21 of you, but amongst partially awake people and non-awakened people, there's probably about 2,000.
Oh, good to know. So, yeah, that's good OOC knowledge that I was not aware of. I was thinking it was like a ragtag group of 10, maybe. Did not know we were rolling so deep. So interesting. So Chiharu will look towards Oliver and say, "Would you happen to know who have crafted these work of arts?"
Not specifically, though it does seem to be a highly skilled, probably master mage, or maybe even perhaps a group of master mages. It you the sphere knowledge required to create and maintain these things was just mind-boggling. I, perhaps one day, will be that skilled, but I'm not aware of anyone specific that signed their name to these.
Perhaps you. I feel like the manipulation of such unique, they're not creatures, constructs, perhaps, is a bit outside my purview.
So it's interesting. I mean, I don't know if they're sentient. I haven't tried to speak with them. As he says that, Oliver looks over toward one that may be nearby them and tries to call out to them. Hello, you there? Can you hear me?
They don't seem to react to you.
Perhaps, perhaps not sentient. I suppose your initial assumption would make the most sense, that they are here to be, animate groundkeepers.
Well, I do hope, especially if this is a area that you wish to pursue, that you're able to find success in your journey.
Oh, indeed. There is such a wide, wonderful world of magic to explore. So many things, the world the universe is a bounty of endless mysteries. For, my library has many books, but none even come close to encompassing a fraction of a percent of the knowledge still left to explore.
OOC, am I familiar with Oliver's tradition?
Yes, you are aware of the of all 9 traditions, though for exactly what you know about them, you would need to make rolls. But you do know generally which tradition they're in, what they do, how they view things.
Yes, if you don't mind, can I do a roll just to see how much I would be able to connect his tradition and compare it to my own to see the similarities and differences?
Since I do not believe you have lore traditions or lore order of Hermes, you can give me a politics and intelligence roll, difficulty 8.
Good Lord, you chose like 2 of my worst skills. Okay, you said intelligence and politics?
Yes, man. Yes.
Wait, is there politics on this sheet? There's no politics on this sheet.
There should be politics today.
Oh, there it is.
Mage
Sorry, my
and
bad.
other games.
No, yeah, okay, I see it now. Yeah, that's why I didn't see it. There's no dots next to it. Okay.
Mage doesn't do politics. Thank you.
We just do magic.
Right.
Yes. What's the difficulty?
8.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Nothing.
no, zero. Nada.
It's just 8, nothing major.
You are aware the Order of Hermes tends to take a more disciplined approach, which is not different from yours, but they also have fundamental misunderstandings about the world as well. They are also tend to be a bit arrogant with their abilities, though they are also very effective. So in some ways, they've earned that right.
These mysteries you speak of, why do you wish to unfold them? What's the reason behind it? Is it for enlightenment?
Part of it is, well, I probably say the majority of it, simply just I'm too damn curious. It's all so interesting and fascinating. Ever since I came across, ever since I was awakened and came into this world of magic, I just, it's just all so amazing. And I don't go a day doesn't go by where I'm not in awe of the awesome power and creativity, and just everything's amazing, and some of it's very scary, but I would like to learn as much as I can while I'm here.
That is very interesting. It seems we have certain lines that appear to cross, even though we're from different traditions.
Oh, I would not. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Did I break your train of thought?
Yes, but it's okay. But it's okay. But there are still certain differences that you are that's filled within you, such as curiosity and fear and excitement. There's no, I didn't hear acceptance. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I thought that acceptance was a fundamental trait. I mean, you and me may choose different ways to practice our magic, but ultimately we can come to the same results if we want. That's something that was one of the most interesting things I learned in my studies. And even though there are untold numbers of other practitioners and possible groups out there, it amazed me to see all the different ways different awakened choose to go about harnessing and manipulating this new energy or life force or cosmic will, or whatever you want to call it. Essentially, it all comes back to being the same thing, but your perspective shapes how you interact with it. It's kind of like how all the religions have a different name for God, but essentially, you could tie it all back to the same place.
Chiharu leans back a bit from that statement turns slowly towards Oliver curiously. That is a interesting insight. Perhaps some of us may be a bit too ingrained in our ways to realize where certain things can overlap, even though it may appear different. I would have to keep that in mind.
Well, that's perfectly fair, Chiharu. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, right? And if you've only ever been, if like say you lived your life in a monastery and you knew nothing of the outside world for 100 years, you wouldn't have. Nobody could blame you for, being shocked at the traditions of outsiders or people. If you ran into all of a sudden be placed into modern society across the world, it would be a complete shell shock. And it, and so I even though I may not be tall, I consider myself lucky to have been graced with the resources to appreciate this knowledge that I've been so. Gosh, I don't know why the word's eluding me. Been granted access to,
Bestowed.
as an awakened, and so I don't take it personally when others maybe don't understand or misunderstand or whatever word you want to put to it. As long as we're not trying to kill each other, I think eventually we can come to an understanding.
Agreed.
And maybe even then.
With that, I will be honest. There is a curiosity of how much more some of our pathways overlap.
Is at this point that you all hear a knock on the door behind you, and you see stepping out onto this terrace a person maybe about average height, darker skinned. You aren't quite sure what gender they are. You see that they have a part of their head is shaved, the other part is kind of long and going down the left side. They look at each of you. The master would like to speak with you all now. Can I guide you to her office?
How are you feeling, Chiharu? Are you ready?
Indeed. And in a one swift motion, you just see their legs just kind of like rotate almost like a corkscrew as they go from a sitting position to a stand, turning around and facing the individual in front of you. Indeed. After you.
Why, thank you. I thought you would never ask.
And with that, our camera is going to pull away before refocusing on a different section of the Chantry. We find a pair of people making their way at a leisurely pace to the main meeting area. They are walking through a garden filled with plants that are beautiful purples and greens. As you look around, you both realize that just as beautiful as these plants are, they are just as dangerous. And there is a subtle but ever present tinge of death around you, though it doesn't seem to be overbearing or uncomfortable. It's almost like a warm hand that just seems to be ever present. Erik, would you like to tell us what you look like?
Yes. So Erik once was very clean cut and very handsome at one part of his life, and things took a very different turn, which I'm sure will unfold at some point in the story. Years have passed, so he kind of has a scruffy beard now. He does his best to keep his hair intact by shaving the sides, but he can't really get the back too well. He's got like a khaki green military jacket on, and just kind of wears boots and jeans. Anyone who would see him on the street would be, is he homeless or is this a fashion thing? It does kind of look good, but a little dirty. And yeah, that's the kind of way he lives his life.
And walking right alongside this uniquely dressed man is a young lady. Bonnie, would you like to tell us what you look like?
Standing at about 5'6", two long black braids hanging down her front. She wears a black dress with a white Peter Pan collar, and her skin is a natural paleness of, like to say death, but no, it's actually foundation, with black lipstick. In her hands is a beaten up shoebox. She points out one of the plants to her companion, and she says, "I was a botanist in my last life. This one can strangle a man twice your size."
We don't know why that brings comfort, but such a garden, such beauty and such death, all living
Don't
in the
worry.
same place. It's cathartic. It's almost like a little miniature version of life.
It only will attack you if you smell of lemongrass oil. She takes a quick sniff. You do not smell like lemongrass oil. I shall rectify that next time.
Wait, what?
She continues on.
She puts out a bottle. No.
There is a new cemetery I have not visited, about 2 miles over. Would you like to visit it with me this weekend?
I feel like I've learned a lot from you these past few days, Bonnie, and you continue to surprise. Yes, of course, I'd like to visit that graveyard with you. That'd be fantastic. A learning experience.
Very
Just
well.
like what I just learned about this deadly flower, and to never come into the garden smelling like oh shit, now I forgot. Now I'm gonna die next time I come in. Lemongrass, I think is what it was.
It's okay. That's why we cast life magic.
Don't worry.
I pull out my notebook. Don't smell good ever. Like, just stay away from good smelling things.
As you two make your way through this garden, you reach the center, and it's almost like a hedge maze, so it doesn't seem to be designed to get you lost, but to funnel you to this point. And you see on the center, on a stone dais, is the statue of a woman. The statue itself is about 7 feet tall. The woman looks to be dangerous, but calming and reassuring at the same time. You both can roll intelligence and occult at difficulty 6 to see if you recognize who this person is. Or
Intelligence and occult. Come on, dice that are not roll 20. And you said 6 is the target number?
Yes.
Okay, but if you get double ones, that's bad.
Ones take away successes.
Cool. So with those 2 successes, I now have 0.
You do not know.
Maybe I'll go back to roll 20. We'll see what the night brings.
How many did you get, Bonnie?
I got 2 successes.
Hey, Bonnie, you recognize her, or at least who the depiction is. You know her because there are some people in the Verbena who both worship and revere her. You know that this is supposed to be a woman known only as the Dark Mother. You know that she is supposed to be. Calling her a saint is incorrect. She is someone that guides people, usually women, but all people are welcome, and kind of helps them on their path. Some say she lived at the start of reality, others believe she was some sort of spirit from ages bygone. But you know that she is someone who is both calming to meet, but very dangerous to get to know.
And I
Predisposed.
know nothing.
You do not.
Just
It is a
checking.
very nice statue, though, Erik.
Predisposed to admire anyone who has earned the title Dark Mother. She curtsies at the statue and, holding out a hand to the statue, explains exactly who this person who is immortalized by the statue is to Erik.
Ah, yes, the Dark Mother, controller of the stars and worshiper of those who have left this mortal world. He's trying to impress you. It's not working, but he's just making it up.
I've heard she's a very pleasant lady, though very dangerous. All the more pleasant.
Much like the gardens we just passed through, I feel. Pleasant
Yeah.
to look at, but also could kill you.
Perhaps she had a hand in their creation.
Do you know if this person still exists, or is this someone who's long passed?
Oh, you know, long past is never long past. Especially
As
long
we all
past.
know, yes. She's still making her way around the wheel. Notes. Did Bonnie and Erik share a tradition, by the way? I remember we were very synced up character wise.
Did we ever have the conversation of which tradition we're in? I assume we would have if we were if Erik had accepted her invitations to stroll around cemeteries at night and
Yeah, I'm feeling like this
try
is
to talk to
definitely
spirits.
I can learn a lot from you because it's kind of my life's mission, right? To gain knowledge in different ways than Oliver, I think, or we take very different approaches to that, and our end goals are also very different, but ultimately that's what I'm going for. And I feel like I can learn a lot. So yeah, I would definitely have shared. I wouldn't have held anything back.
Okay.
Ethan does, by the way.
Well, you would she would have told you that she's euthanatos. And just like
Tomato, yeah. However you
her
pronounce it.
adoptive parents.
Yeah. So perhaps the Dark Mother symbolizes the Great Wheel.
How so?
Well, we know long gone isn't long gone forever. Perhaps she's just making her next rotation, I guess is the best way to put it.
I suppose if you look at it like that, then we all symbolize the wheel.
Very much so. Everyone I've met has their own story and or version of how they've made their way around it and come back to this world. So yes, I see proof everywhere I look.
perhaps we shall meet her soon.
I would very much like that. Or perhaps not. Time will tell. Much like the flowers, I would love to give them a sniff. But probably not.
Oh, well, you can definitely give them a sniff. It's just that they might give you a sniff back.
Yeah, I'm not at that part of the wheel yet, if that makes sense. I still have a lot more turning of the wheel to go.
You've got a long way to go. Understandable. Shall we?
We shall. I'll put out my arm very gentlemanly. Even though I don't look very gentlemanly, I'll try to be very gentlemanly.
All right. As the two of you continue on your journey, you will eventually meet up. All four of you find yourselves standing outside of a very opulent-looking room. You can see that the door itself seems to be made out of a crystal-like material. It looks almost like glass, but every once in a while it will shimmer in a way that will reflect light into several different colors. And as you're standing there, you hear a very kind voice come through from the other side. Please come in.
Chiharu would nod, look towards the other two. Erik, cousin, good to see you.
Ah,
As
how
well.
are you today, Chiharu?
Enlighten.
Interesting. Well, it's your turn with our shared charge. And she hands him their shared charge.
And they will take the Tamagotchi, look immediately look immediately into it to verify how healthy our charge is. And make sure that they're well fed. How is the Tamagotchi looking?
Well, unfortunately, still hale and hearty. She looks over their shoulder and points out to him. I made some alterations to our shared charges living space.
In what way?
Our dear Erik, I felt that they were not in the most well in the space that was most befitting of them. I took the liberty to add some cobwebs, a couple of skulls to the living space.
And they're going to press a few buttons on the Tamagotchi to verify if the happiness has gone up or gone down since the previous experience from the adding the skulls and such.
Throw me a d20. Let's find out.
A D20? A D20? The one dice I didn't bring? Okay, 1 second.
You could roll the d10 as well. The importance for this is whether or not the number is odd or even. So as long as it has an equal number on each side, it doesn't matter.
It was an 8.
Happiness has gone up a bit.
We all like skulls. I'm just saying, this is more proof.
They're much happier amongst their kind.
Your insight. That's incredible. I will never have considered adding skulls to their living space. Would you like to have them for a bit longer? See if it, perhaps a few more additions of your input, your thoughts, may bring them more happiness.
Do you use them for security?
Well, I didn't have enough time to teach them about the Loch Ness monster. It would be nice to have another weekend with them.
Chiharu has no hesitation of handing the Tamagotchi back. He says, I'm curious to see how this goes.
I will I will take the Tamagotchi and put it into my shoebox. There is the sound of a couple of buttons being pressed as she closes the shoebox.
Oh yes. I forgot to discuss about my familiar.
Your
So you
familiar is not with you at the moment.
oh, they're not. Okay, never mind then. All right, scratch that. Okay.
Now, you all have been told to enter the room. Have you entered the room and are having this conversation inside, or are you still talking outside of the door and then we'll go in?
Talking outside of well, I would have talked outside of the door and then gone in.
Then as you all finish up, the voice calls out again. You may enter.
I believe someone's beckoning us, says Oliver, heading in and pointing the way with his cane.
Yep. Erik follows.
I will follow after as well.
Same here.
As you step foot into the room, the door closes behind you, and you see sitting at a desk is a Puerto Rican woman. Looks to be like maybe her mid-40s. She looks to be average height with a bit of a slim build. She's kind of has bronze-colored skin with long jet black hair. She's wearing a dark purple pantsuit. And as she looks at you all, she gives you a pleasant smile. I hope your journey here wasn't unpleasant. I'm told that some of you went to see the darker parts of the gardens.
Yes.
One
we
might
did.
call it the darker parts of the garden, but I don't know. I think there's more to it than that.
Oh no, it seemed plenty dark to me. Do you happen to have some lemongrass oil?
Oh, whoa. Slow down. Just
No.
not for me, right?
Do
Just
not.
for
We must remember to be very careful. We prefer to keep things balanced, but we do not need people getting harmed here. At least people that aren't our enemies anyway. Well, first, allow me to welcome you up here. It's been quite a while since I've seen the four of you. But unfortunately, this is more of a business call than a casual one. Sure, you've begun to notice there have been some changes in the last few months.
Do you recall?
I would say you all have noticed a few things have been different. The amount of time that the other Cabals have spent here has been decreasing as they've all seemed to be busy with something. You know, that people haven't really been open about talking about it with you all. You all are considered the not so much as the weakest, but the youngest of the apprentice level mages, and as a result, information doesn't always flow down to you all. And you've also noticed that some of the magic or the key operating things have been kind of not wonky, but sometimes it hasn't been as potent as it usually is. And at first it was kind of small things like the air would be warmer or colder than it would normally be, but there's been some more things, some lights not operating ideally, but nothing that has caused you any overt problems.
now that you mention it, first, love the suit. It's great to see you. But yeah, things have felt a little off. I can't put my finger on it.
Not as off as our wild adventure, huh?
We weren't going to talk about that.
Told you all had gotten up to something, but well, I suppose we can all have our secrets. But that is what I wanted to speak to you all about. Unfortunately, the Mystic Realm we are currently in seems to be unable to maintain a facility of this magnitude. Now, myself and the other masters, as well as several of the adept mages, are able to keep things going for now, but we will need to enter the sealed mystic realm sooner rather than later. We have sent most of your companions out in search of what we need, but it appears that one of our more important nodes has stopped sending us the Quintessence we need. Unfortunately, I cannot go take care of that problem myself because we are all needed to maintain this building, which means we have decided to send the four of you. This node is in Cleveland, Ohio, for those of you who've had familiarities with the mainland United States. And, well, we need for you to go and ideally get the Quintessence flowing again. However, it appears that none of you have obtained the adept level in spirit. Is that correct? None of you are able to open your own pathways in and out of the Umbra yet.
I don't.
You're not gonna put it like that, but yeah.
I can't
Not
speak
at the
for the
moment,
others, but
no.
not myself. But maybe you can teach me one day.
Perhaps. Oh, the issue is that once you all leave here, it will be very difficult for us to be able to offer you any direct assistance. Which, in some ways, may be good for your understanding. You all will be able to make your own decisions and your own triumphs. But
You
it
said
would be
this
very
was an
bad.
important node.
Yes.
So why are you sending the weakest? I mean, the newest of us, if I may ask.
Oh, ye of little
'Cause,
faith, Erik.
I'm just asking a question. So it was a very important node, not a, it'd be nice to have node.
Well, we place great belief in all of our awakened equally, but everyone else is currently preoccupied. They
Got it.
aren't
So we were
maintaining
at the bottom of the
space.
list. I'm just confirming. The rest of the list is occupied. Got it.
We prefer to match capabilities with the job, and we believe that you all can handle this.
You should have led it with that. I'm just saying you could have sold it a little bit. We're here to help, of course. I'm sorry. Skeptical as
Let me
always.
ask, with what are the other cabals preoccupied?
That was the other thing. Currently, we are unable to enter the secondary mystic realm because we do not have the requirements for the ritual. We believe there are several items that have been scattered throughout scattered on this side of that side of the gauntlet. Currently, we have the other group searching for those, and we've had some success, but we still need more. Ideally, if you all were to come across any of these items, that would be of great help, and we assure you you would be rewarded quite handsomely, but just that is not your main concern at the moment.
Do you know, or are you aware of what we may come to expect when we enter this node? Has there been calls or sightings of danger, perhaps?
At the moment, we don't entirely know. We haven't received any word of any awakened activity in the city, which is why we thought it was not necessary to have anything more than a few people check in on it every once in a while. We recently sent your student Oliver to look into it. Ari tells us that there's been a family that's been around there recently, but she's unable to tell us too much more than that. They seem to be attempting to buy that land, which would be unpleasant, but we could work with. But that's what we need you all to do, to go in and see just what's going on and ideally get this situation taken care of.
Since none of us, as of yet, have a connection to the spirit realm, how are we to call on you when the job is done?
Well, we will know once the quintessence begins to flow again that the job has been completed. The issue, though, is that it will be difficult, if not impossible, for you to contact us during the meantime. We can arrange for you to be sent there, no problem, but we would not be able to bring you back.
Where are we currently?
What you know is that you are in a small realm inside of the Umbra. If you want a physical location for that, you'd have to roll.
No, I don't. I was just gonna say, like, I pull up my phone, like, can't you just call?
No, you do.
But
not
we're in a
have
different
service
realm in the
here.
Umbra. Okay, got it. That's
No cell service. There's no cell service here, unfortunately. You didn't buy the multiplayer T-Mobile plan, unfortunately.
If this may take more than a day, is there a place of residence where we can rest and collect ourselves?
We have given Ari a bit of funds to take care of temporary housing for you in the city. I believe the children are calling it an Airbnb. But for more permanent residence, you all will need to take care of that on your own as well. I have been outside of mortal society for enough time.
I see. I believe I understand what is being requested, and at the moment, do not have any further questions.
I assume you would like this done quickly, but is there a sense of urgency we should consider?
We would like for you to take care of it as quickly as possible, but we do not want you to be reckless. Ideally, this is something that the sleepers have done, maybe messed with something, and you will be able to take care of the issue quickly. But if it turns out that there is something more dangerous afoot, be careful and be cautious. Even without the node sending us energy, the other cabals that are stuck here can keep this place operating for about a year before we'd be forced to take more drastic measures. But we'd prefer to have a nice safety net, so to speak.
Understood. I have no further questions. I will see that it's done.
Wonderful. In that case, we have also taken the liberty, Chiharu, to make sure that your companion is well fed for your journey, so you will not need to be worried about that for a bit of time. We also carry a bit of a warning. We do know that the city has a small-ish construct inside of it. I don't know how active you all have been in the Ascension War in the recent years.
I'm presuming not much.
The what now?
With that look, I will assume that you all are relatively uninvolved. The technocracy calls their chantries constructs. Don't entirely know why, but try to avoid dealing with the technocracy. We have reached not quite a peace, but an agreement to not overtly attack each other, but such agreements have been reached in the past and have fallen apart just as quickly. So do not trust them unnecessarily. We know that they tend to keep their places of work in downtowns or major industrial areas. So I would look for something more suburban for your living arrangements if possible, or ideally in some forest somewhere, but I can't fault someone for wanting to keep their creature comforts. Other than that, that will be everything I can tell you.
And when are we to depart?
There isn't a rush, but in the next few days is what we intended. You also have enough time to take care of anything else here, of course. And once you've gained the ability to enter and exit this place at will, then you can come back as often as you like.
And just if we've happened to come across some of the items that our fellow Cabal mates are searching for, could you provide us with a list of what's being searched for in case we run into one of them?
I will have that taken care of for you. If you find them, that would be very impressive. But do not go searching for them. Our guess is that these items are most likely very potent, and I would really prefer to not lose some young future stars for biting too much.
Understandable.
All right. Well, in that case, please enjoy the sights. There are plenty of other gardens for you to find. I imagine that you would be able to find some other useful items here. There will be a pathway to ready to take you to the city, opened in a few hours. And once you're there, enjoy yourselves. You will be without supervision, but keep in mind if you cause enough trouble, we will take care of that. But we would really prefer for all of our apprentices in future mages to be able to prove that they can take care of themselves.
You are aware of my tradition. That's the last thing you have to be concerned of with me. More so, I'm not on my own in Cleveland.
All right, well, please take care of yourselves. Enjoy yourselves. I hear that Cleveland has some somewhat interesting food choices.
You can say. And Chiharu will look towards the others and say, I'm going to retrieve Hoshi for our trip. I will see you all in a few.
Sounds good.
Indeed. Perhaps we should start looking for real estate.
I do not wish to mention such things as I do not want to cause issue with me having something that others may not. But my family resides in Cleveland, so I would have a place to stay while we are there. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Well,
so is that an invite to stay with your fam, or just
you do
not really thinking about the whole Chantry here? I'm just saying. Like,
let's just say you would not wish to stay with them. It could be problematic, to say the least. What? Quick question: would Bonnie know, since we're cousins of the lineage?
Well, Bonnie's not of the lineage because she's adopted.
Mm. Oh, okay. Okay.
So the part of her family that is related to yours is not of her blood.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
But she looks at Chiharu nevertheless and says to them, "Ah, how is my aunt and uncle?"
You know, that's something I need to find out. It's been a while. I'm presuming that they're fine, though. I will let you know. Would you like to see them? Bonnie, I'm presuming, would be fine, since we're family of sorts. Unfortunately, Erik and Oliver may be a bit more complicated.
Oh,
Look-
that's fine. I'm sure Erik wouldn't mind staying at the library.
If I must, I say reluctantly because I'm reading back on my notes and I remember that our backstories, we each would like to know something, like we each know something that the other would like to know, kind of thing. Like I really want to know
We
about
shared a wild adventure involving a
the.
monastery.
We
and other
did. I'm
mages.
talking about me
Oh,
and
you're talking you
Chiharu.
and okay.
Chiharu, yeah. Like
Mm.
I'm trying to figure out. He keeps talking about his family, and he's like, "Oh, no, they're great. I mean, but not for you. But for me, it's great." And now, just like really, I've been really trying to figure it out.
They're great, but terrible for you. They're great for me.
Oh, great! I'd love to come over and meet them. No.
No.
No, thank you.
No.
Yeah, thank you, Oliver. I would love to stay at the library.
Well, it's settled.
All
She,
right.
she looks to Chiharu and says, "I do hope they live in the bad part of town."
No, they do not. They prefer to stay among themselves in the outskirts, close to the forest area.
Ah, well, I hope the forests are spooky enough.
You can be, if that is your thing, which I would say you would be able to find quite a few interesting things out there.
I greatly look forward to it. I've never met my aunt and uncle before. It shall be interesting.
It should be. It will be. They I believe they are aware of you. I have told them about you.
Shall I inform my parents?
Yes. Just to be on the safe side.
All right then. Perhaps they would like to come as well.
A large family gathering. Wait,
There's
What?
there's never a bad time for that.
Agreed. Especially since recently. As mentioned, I can't recall since last I saw your side either. It's been a while.
I think now is going to be a great time for us to take our break for the evening. So we will be back in about 15 minutes to see where this story takes our young band of mages. Right, and see you when we come back. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Mage the Ascension campaign. As we were wrapping up, our party was deciding what to do next. I believe Chiharu wanted to go in and check in on their familiar. Is that still the plan?
Yes. Retrieve them for the trip.
All right. Then you all make your way down towards the ground, which is really the bottommost floor of this pyramid-like structure. And as you make your way down, you find that the the rooms around you become a bit more, not quite industrial, but they become more open. They become more made out of see-through materials, and you can see things that look like makeshift shops and security offices and things like that. Are there any conversations you all wish to have as you are making your way down?
I might have missed the first bit, what you were saying. So where are we now?
You all are making, well, assuming that you all wish to follow Chiharu, you all are heading down to check on their familiar, which is towards the bottom of the structure. If you all do not wish to join Chiharu for that, then the group will split.
Okay, I think what threw me off is I know we're like in this umber plane pyramid thing, and you're like, oh, there's a bunch of offices and like
They
normal
aren't so
things.
much as offices. It's the most of the places you've been to so far have been homes. Now you're leaving homes for like more official looking buildings. They aren't like office buildings, but they are clearly not someone's house now.
Got it. I mean, I don't have anything better to do. Let's go see that little rascal of yours.
All right.
We all do love puppies.
X.
All right, as you all make your way closer to the bottom, you get to the bottommost layer, and here is the largest in actual size. And as you are stepping out of the stairwell here, you find yourself entering a room that is hot and almost like an African savanna in atmosphere. You look around and you see trees, you see small desert-like biomes, but in the distance you can see some of it is forest, some of it also is closer to bodies of water. As you look around and take a good look, you see creatures of differing types. You see some plants, some half humanoid fish-like beings. You see some flying things with the heads of animals and wings. You see a large variety of spirits and other bygone creatures. Chiharu, you do know where your familiar would be. And as you all begin to make your way towards them, it takes you about 20 more minutes of walking before you come across a section that looks almost like the thick forest you'd expect of maybe a large jungle area. Would you like to tell us what your familiar looks like?
Oh yes. So my familiar essentially is a large wolf in the color scheme of a red panda. So you see bright auburn fur on the top. They have these brilliant blue eyes, and then underneath that auburn reddish fur on the upper part of their body, the lower half is a more dark, almost oak-like brown that wraps all the way down to their paws. They have a large bushy tail and a friendly face. And their name is Hoshi, which is Japanese for star. And yeah, that's what they look like.
And as you all arrive, you find several beings kind of crouched around, looks to be like a large stone. They seem to be having some sort of conversation, though they don't look to be speaking to you. It's almost as if they are communicating in non-verbal ways. I don't believe any of you have Spirit 1.
I
I
do.
could be incorrect. All right,
I have
Bonnie,
Spirit
you
1.
can roll your art at difficulty 4 to see if you can understand what they are saying.
All right. I'll do a little bit of eavesdropping.
The spirit would be the only one that would work, right? You couldn't use mind for this.
No, mind wouldn't translate this.
I have 2 successes. And also, as we get closer to Hoshi, the shoebox in Bonnie's hands start tapping, tapping, tapping. As Bonnie's familiar is very excited to see its fellow familiar.
Weirdest relationship.
You understand bits and pieces of the actual conversation. They seem to be having a debate that is not quite philosophical, but it is about kind of the nature of spirits and non-spirit beings. It is a bit hard for you to follow. What is your intelligence rating?
4.
Okay. You understand the gist of what they're arguing, but they seem to be kind of stuck or disagreeing on the concept of what the actual difference between a spirit and a mortal being is, since since mortal beings will eventually become spirits. Does that mean that they always are spirits and do not realize it, or that there is something innate in living things that make them become spirits? And that is the kind of the gist of the debate that you seem to be witnessing as you approach.
If Bonnie is allowed to interject, she says, it's all the same, isn't it? Non-spirits and spirits. Non-spirits become spirits and spirits become non-spirits. It's all a cycle.
You say that a person who looks almost like a book explanation of what a naga would be, a very long serpent with almost eyes that seem to be staring at you but through you at the same time, kind of turns. Oh, if that is the case, then what would happen if the undead broke the barriers between the living and the dead? Would they become dead things or living things?
Well, as they're currently both, they're just simply out of time. They came too early in their cycle.
Then what is time for us?
Well, that's an interesting question. For some, time is a river that flows. You can interrupt it. You can split it off into different directions, but it flows nevertheless. An undead breaching into another realm. Well, I suppose it's simply a matter of jumping out of the stream of time before it's supposed to.
You have given me many things to consider. I will leave now. And the rest of you have no idea what they're talking about.
I lean down to Oliver. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Absolutely no idea. To
Oliver
you, it
leans over.
sounds.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
To you all, it sounds more like a series of hisses and elemental noises. It's almost like nature itself is speaking. For you, Oliver, because of your tradition, you know there is a language that spirits speak, but I don't believe you have taken that background, that ability, so you do not understand what is happening, but you are aware of the language they are using. Chiharu, while that exchange is happening, you do see that Hoshi does. They clearly acknowledge your presence, but they are also very much interested in the actual conversation that is happening. And then once this large serpent-like being leaves, they make their way over towards you.
Chiharu would bend down on one knee and gently place their forehead against Hoshi in terms of a greeting of sorts, and say, "It's good to see you here. Do they treat you well?"
Well, but it is kind of boring. Very much philosophy, less action. And that you all can hear, as they are speaking English, as far as you can tell.
I'm sorry, Hoshi? The wolf
Yes.
speaks English. How has this not come up before?
Oh, wait until you see the thing
You
in
son
my.
of a bitch! I told you all those secrets, not thinking you'd be able to tell anyone.
What have you been telling? What have you been telling Hoshi, Erik?
I thought he was my dog. You know.
Well, you know, man's best friend. You know, it's all cool.
Yeah, the problem is it's not this man's best friend. It's that man's best friend. It's not the same thing.
Hoshi, by the way, is a terrible gossip.
Oh,
It's not
how do you
action.
know that?
It's not action. If it's not action, he probably already forgot about it. So Chiharu, of course, scratched the back of Hoshi's noggin and says, well, if it's action that you're looking for, you may run across a bit because we have a mission.
And where are we going?
Cleveland, home.
That is on the other side of the gauntlet, right?
Yes. So when we leave, it may be some time before we return. We'll see what we can do about perhaps making earlier trips, as I know you prefer this side of the gauntlet over. I should call it material plane. What would they view it as? The natural plane.
Very well. And you all see that Hoshi begins to condense a bit. Now, currently they look kind of like a very large wolf. As they begin to shrink in size, they look more like a very large dog, closer to that of like a Great Dane in size. And Chiharu, you are aware that they don't typically like being smaller, but they have done it for necessity.
They understand, and they're as a familiar. What was something that they prefer or they enjoy the most, just so they can have like a gift as a thank you for joining?
No, I will let you decide that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, you know what it is? I feel like there are these, even though it's the material world, there are these like catnip for dogs, but like in a star-shaped form that he like really likes to eat. And so because it kind of reminds him of his name, he's just like, oh, and this is delicious. And so he gets a little bit more hyper when he eats it. So when he sees this transformation, Chiharu is going to keep this in mind and make sure to buy one of those bags of doggy nip when they return. Yeah, they would stand up and says, all right, is there anything else we need to obtain before we depart?
Do I know if my parents are here?
I would say if you would want them to be, they could. There are other mages that do have family that live here and work with the Chantry and help out.
Well, I assume that, well, I think they live in the material world, because that's where they raised her. Is there cell phone reception in the Umbra?
I already brought this up.
The general rule is no, there is no cross the umbral.
But I know how we can get rich.
Communication. However, there are some technomancers that have managed to create systems like that. You know that the virtual adepts do have a manner of speaking across that way. You don't know how they do it, but you could probably find one and maybe convince them to help you with it, but you don't know how.
I'll call them when I'm in Ohio.
Oh, wait, that was OOC, right? Or that was IC? Sorry, I thought that was the read, right?
Yes, they were asking me, but I believe the last part was in character. But I
yeah, you'll hear her, you'll hear the sound of her thinking, like considering when she should contact her parents, and she just says, "I'll call them when I get to Ohio."
I think I missed the first part of that statement, but I trust your judgment.
Well, we are going to be visiting family, my aunt and uncle.
Mm-hmm.
We had discussed that my parents may like to come visit too for a family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking of when I should contact them, as it's difficult to reach across to the material world as in the position we are now, and I don't have the ability myself to do so. I'll just call them when I'm in Ohio.
Ah, I see. Well, you seem to have a way with spirits. Perhaps you would be able to unlock that one day.
One day, not currently. I am not in that stream of time yet.
That stream. It's always interesting hearing about that concept.
It's ever flowing.
Is just that it seems to overlap with how we view harmony in ways. Some ways, anyway.
Maybe. Everything's a cycle. Everything is the same.
Well,
so I suppose harmony could feed into time. Everything does feed into everything as it is.
It's true. Well, is there anything else we need to obtain before we depart from this plane?
Not on my end.
Nope. I think I'm ready to go.
So I guess quick out of character question. Since I have the library background, is that something that I'll have access to in Cleveland? Like where is the library located? I'm not sure.
You will have access to it. You would have been made aware of this as Ari has already left, but there were movements to have things transferred. At the moment, you will need a physical place to put your books, but they are waiting for you, we'll say.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, he's able to. Well, I mean, if we're gonna, I mean, Erik, you're poor as shit, right, Erik?
Wow!
Wow!
Do you
Like
ask
zero
that in
resources.
character? Wait. Do you ask that in character?
No, this is out of character.
No, I have 2 dots in resources.
Okay. I thought you
hardly classify as poor as shit.
I wasn't sure because Ree kept saying everybody was poor, so
We're
I'm
all
lower middle
relatively
class,
poor.
but who isn't? Am I right?
I got 2 dots as well. So we can be poor together.
I'm slightly less poor.
But yeah, so I mean, I think. Well, I guess are you gonna go try to sneak into Chiharu's place and stuff?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, who?
No, I'm not. I didn't get invited.
Okay.
Wait, Erik is staying at the library, right? Was he planning?
Yeah, we're gonna basically go make.
Yeah, I already have a place
something.
to stay. Why would I suddenly change my mind?
Well, I figured with both of us having resources too, we can probably get something relatively
Oh, it's
you know,
not that I
comfortable.
needed a place to stay. It was the principle of the thing.
Yeah,
That's all. I was.
You know, the Cabal that sleeps together, sticks together.
According to most, that would make sense, but not Chiharu.
She's gonna be bitter about it. Sure.
Bonnie turns to Chiharu. Are you sure they cannot come stay with family?
I do not wish to risk that path, as that path could lead to interesting consequences. How about this? When we return, I will ask my parents and my family this request and see what they say. I will, depending upon their response, I will let you all know.
Well, that would be lovely.
Of course. Again, I wish I could say more, but as you can all imagine, we all have our secrets, and so let's hear those secrets.
Of course.
Sounds ominous. I love it.
Secrets are so much fun.
Perhaps. But I do wish to say this is not meant to disrespect any of you. This is actually more concern for everyone.
All right.
Well,
As you all make your way towards this point, the middle of the building, you find that there is an area that has an intricate set of. Is that me? Oh.
I don't know what that was.
That wasn't you.
You step into a room with intricate engravings across the stone. They seem to be done in what looks to be gold at a glance, but you aren't too sure. And you can all feel that there is a presence of magic that is not quite physical, but almost weighing the very air around you. And as you enter, you find there are two people standing there. They both seem to be very large. One seems to be kind of darker skinned, the other one is a bit paler. They each seem to be holding what looks to be like two long Kopesh style blades, so kind of curved swords. And you see as they are standing right in front of what looks to be like a doorway that seems to be humming lightly with power. The first one kind of looks at you all. We are told that you are making your way across the gauntlet today.
Yes, we are.
We have verified that the other side is safe. There is a young woman waiting on the other side who claims to know you all. Is that expected?
It is not.
Do you know the identity of this young woman?
Said her name was Ari.
Oh. Yes, we are. Oliver, that is your friend, correct? Oh, you may be muted.
You're muted.
Mike muted. Yep.
Sorry. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. That's yes. She's Ari's my apprentice. She means well, but you know, it's yes. She's a good student.
Then I guess we do know Ari. Oh yeah, Ari. She had us do that one thing that one time where we had to. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, you know, the thing at the place.
All right. You all may make your crossing whenever you like.
And Chiharu, with no hesitation, immediately struts forward through the portal.
All right. And as you step foot through the portal, for just a moment, you experience this sensation of weightlessness, and you feel yourself almost stepping through a thick membrane almost like walking through spider webs or like a thick viscous liquid. And for just a moment, it seems like it doesn't want to let you through. And just as you begin to worry, you feel yourself step fully through, and you find yourself standing inside of a very nicely furnished room. You look around and you can see that this room seems to be a patio of some sort. There's like a wall to your right that is made of glass, but there seems to be those kind of automatic blinds that are down. And you look around, you see Ari is standing there waiting for you. The room itself seems to be kind of not dark, but relying on kind of ambient lighting to see. And as you enter, she looks at you each and goes, "Hello, it is good of you to join us." Well, me, really. Um, this is a place that you all can stay for the next week. Um, to be brief, don't damage anything.
Good work, Ari. Have you found any more long-term accommodations that might be more befitting me and Erik perhaps can dwell?
I have been looking. There are some places that are inexpensive, that they tend to be closer to the major commercial hub of the city. A little bit more industrial, though not quite downtown. If you all are willing to pool your resources, there are some areas in the outer suburbs that would be very effective for what you all tend to, well, I guess what we tend to get up to.
I think that may be preferable to be a little bit more low key. What do you think,
I
Erik?
will.
I've found that's always best. It's just sound logic.
Indeed.
I will look into it and see what places I can find. I don't believe much time has passed for you all, but I do need to clean the runes off of this place. Is there anything that you all need for right now?
Bonnie, you said you were to call your parents? You should now receive reception since we have crossed the veil.
Yes, she says, looking at her phone. And she will dial the number and call her parents.
All right. And what is your mother's name?
Well, her mother's name is Meridia.
All right. And you do find, all of you will find that your phones are working now. It took a moment for them to connect to the satellites again, but they are functioning. And Bonnie, as you place your call, it rings a couple of times before you hear a voice on the other end. "Hi, Bon, how are you?"
Hello, Mother. Where's other Mother?
She is currently shopping for more things for the garden. Apparently, we need lawn gnomes for something. Um, but I
Perhaps to
don't
scare away
understand.
the backyard gnomes.
Are those separate things? Oh boy.
Oh, yes, you have the lawn gnomes and you have the backyard gnomes.
We're not going to tell your mom about that. Is there anything else that you'd want to talk about today?
Well, yes. Well, I'd rather other Mother be here, but you can tell her when she comes back.
Oh,
I'm visiting the Sampsons, and I'm wondering if you would like to come
Oh.
with.
oh, that sure. That sounds wonderful. We haven't spoken with them in quite some time. When are you going?
Well, I'm in Cleveland now, so right now.
Uh, oh, uh, okay. I will call her and we will let you know.
it would be very nice to have a family reunion. I've never met aunt and uncle, actually. Very interesting indeed. Chiharu makes it sound very ominous. I look forward to it.
It should be fine. Chiharu makes a lot of things sound very ominous. But yes, it should be fine. It has been a while. But they were really nice. They are very physically active. We went jogging last time and they jogged for like 2 hours, which won't do again.
Oh,
100% don't recommend. Yeah.
well, I hope they don't expect me to jog.
Just politely decline it. It'll be alright. You may have to do that a couple of times, but you will feel much better if you don't do the running than if you do.
When can I expect you and other mother?
Um, well, I will see how quickly she can return from the store. So maybe 30 minutes or an hour.
Mhm. Tell her to get the blue gnomes, not the red gnomes. The red gnomes are a little feisty. Although she does prefer it. No, the red gnomes will do. Don't tell her anything.
Don't know what that means, but okay.
I love you, mother. I shall see you soon.
I love you as well, and give us more notice next time.
Oh, well, I would, but I only found out I was going to Cleveland like 20 minutes ago.
And now we're here.
Just Quinn, just you guys.
Where were you?
Well, I was in the other realm with my Cabal. We've been given a task in Cleveland.
Okay, wait. When you say gnomes, we're talking about like the statue things, right? Not real thing. Never mind. No, forget I asked. We will talk to you later.
I shall see you soon.
See you soon.
She hangs up and turns to Chiharu. They shall be here shortly.
Perfect. That reminds me, I should reach out to my family as well to inform them that we will be coming over later today. Oh, what time is it right now in the material world?
It looks you haven't seen a clock yet, but it probably like 3, 4 in the afternoon, somewhere around there.
Okay, still plenty of time for a gathering. So they'll send a message to their mom, let her know that they are here, they're back, and they're planning on visiting along with Bonnie, as well as Auntie and Auntie. Oh, I didn't get their names. What was their name?
Well, Bonnie's mother is named Meridia, and her other mother is named Sarah.
Perfect. And well, you never met them before. Well, I'm pretty sure I still would have told you my parents' name. So the dad's name is Patrick, and the mother's name is Satomi. But yeah, they will send a message to their mother saying that they're back. They're planning on visiting. We'll be staying for a bit, and Bonnie's coming by along with Auntie and Auntie.
Okay. You receive a message shortly afterwards. Okay.
Right. Chiharu looks up from his phone and says, all right, plans is all set. He looks towards Erik and Oliver and says,
Oh, she holds out a hand to Chiharu. Wait. So do aunt and uncle happen to have gnomes? If so, I can call my mother and tell her to tell other mother not to bother.
I do not recall. If it is, it would be a recent addition to the household. I don't think so.
Probably for the best. They might be backyard gnomes. We don't want to risk it.
Yes, the gnomes wouldn't want to be around, that's for sure.
Only front yard gnomes. None of those backyard. We don't trust
Only
those
the
backyard
lawn
gnomes.
Chiharu will look towards Erik and Oliver and says, so you two have a plan. Do we wish to meet up at the node tomorrow or tonight? What is your preference?
I would hate to interrupt family time, but I did come here on a mission that I would like to get to.
Oh, you want to go look at the node? You know, we still need to go. We can go look at the house later. I'm sure it'll still be there.
I don't have a preference. I think I'd like to get this done as soon as possible, but yeah, let's go take a look at the node. At least take a look. We could take a look. Or maybe it'll be easy peasy. We'll just knock it out for you guys. And, you know, we'll be back at home base by tomorrow.
Well, if you
I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Oh no, I am not discouraging that viewpoint. I hope that Harmony provides you that as well, and this would be easy peasy, as you say.
I've learned a lot from you as well, Chiharu, and you got to put out positive vibes in order to get positive vibes back. That's how the world works. So manifest it, and it will be so.
Have you been meditating?
A little bit. I've been trying.
Chiharu would step forward just a few steps and gently places a hand on their shoulders and says, baby steps. I'm happy.
Okay. Get out of here, you.
It's a genuine smile. Oh, Bonnie, what was you about to say?
She turns to Erik and says, "You should think about working on your demesne."
What now?
Demesne. Well, you've been meditating. You should think about working on the place that you go when you meditate.
Oh, my happy place.
All of that.
I'm still working on it, but I still find that when I go there, it still always ends the same, and it's not happy.
Well, it's not supposed to be happy all the time. It's just a place that's familiar to you.
I will work on that as well.
Well, of course, if you run into anything while you're there, reach out to us. We'll be there as soon as we can.
Of course.
All right. Well, see you soon. And
Have a great time, guys.
I imagine we're walking off in like opposite directions.
Yep.
Or no.
We all start walking the same direction.
Yeah.
I mean, the nose
We
this
say
way too.
goodbye and we walk in the same direction.
Just like,
Yes, all right. So it sounds like you all are splitting up. So my question is, for Chiharu and Bonnie, are you waiting for Bonnie's family to arrive, or do you wish to have them meet you on location?
Oh, meet us on location. Presuming they'll be coming by over, and so then we all can have just a big gathering per se. Because I'll be honest, I'm much more familiar with my family. But yeah, that's what Chiharu would do.
Okay. All right. In that case, we will start with Bonnie and Chiharu. So, the two of you. My first question actually is: do you all intend to walk to this location? You all will figure out basically from where you are to where Chiharu's family is would take you. For Chiharu to give maybe a 40-minute jog there. For Bonnie, you're looking around 55, 60 minutes. You're
Well, it
not
depends.
quite
What's
as
the weather today?
it's pretty. I won't say it's hot and bright. It's like 65 and sunny. Is what I'm saying. Like 65.
Ugh, it's pleasant weather until it dusts.
So Chiharu looks towards Bonnie and says, "So one thing about my family, they like to jog. Would you like to take a stroll to our home?"
I've been warned about this by my mother.
Listen to your
Warn?
mother.
That's such a good reincarnation. That Warn. What took place exactly?
Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. My mother just warned me that your side of the family are very physical people.
Well, yes,
I'll just walk.
we can take an Uber if you prefer that route.
She looks up at the 65 degrees Fahrenheit day. Not too sunny, not too cloudy, blue skies all around. Then she looks at Chiharu. An Uber would be preferable.
All right. Chiharu smirks at that, takes out their phone, quickly places a ping in for Uber. And yeah, so we take a drive up there.
Okay. You are able to pretty easily get an Uber. And it's not that expensive either. And we'll say it takes you about 20-ish minutes in an Uber to get there. And as you all arrive, you find yourself pulling into an area that is
Wait
very.
a second. Is Hoshi with us
Yes, right?
in the Uber?
Roll me a D100 percentage. Actually, just roll a D10 and the percentages will still work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. A 94.
You find an Uber that is very accommodating to dogs. Like it has the whole line. It's like a larger, not quite a minivan, but it's that larger, put the kids in the car and go to sports practice type of vehicle. It has
Explorer.
like various dog, yeah, an Explorer. It has various dog treats inside, bottles of water, fruit snacks, just the whole 9 yards. It is very comfortable, very climate controlled. Best Uber, clear 5 stars out of 5. But and they seem to really enjoy Hoshi's presence. Hoshi does not speak during this time. That would be an issue. But yeah, if there are no conversations you all wish to have in the car ride, then we will do a little time condensing here. And the area you all arrive at is very close to a wildlife park, the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. And as you kind of get there, there is an area that is not quite reserved for your family, but your family has managed to pull some connections and kind of get an area of land that is theirs, more or less. And as you enter, you find that there is a very large home. It's about on the land. There are 3 parts to it. There's like 2 areas that are meant more for apartment style living, you could say, and there's a single main house. And as you all pull up, there is a parking lot, and you do as you all approach. You see there are people running. There looks to be like a group of 5 that seem to all be kind of sprinting around a track that seems to be laid out for this purpose. There's another group of people that seem to be playing what looks to be basketball, though you aren't entirely sure. They kind of seem to be. It seems to be basketball, but the rules seem to be altered for some reason. Bonnie, you see clearly that your warning was spot on. Everyone seems to be doing physical activity at the moment. And as you approach, you do see there is a minivan that is also kind of just finishing pulling in as you pull up. And as you see a couple step out, they seem to be not quite polar opposites, but they seem to be dressed in a way that is opposite of each other, but complementary at the same time. You see one of them is a woman wearing a very nice kind of suburban dress with kind of long blonde hair that goes down right around the shoulder. The other seems to be wearing kind of blue jeans and a plaid shirt with kind of shorter hair, maybe about here. And as they kind of get out and they look around, Bonnie, you recognize your parents, who look both parts excited and nervous at the same time. As they're kind of looking around, they're very much doing the, I have no idea where I'm supposed to be here at the moment. And then they see you all arrive, and they see Chiharu, and they kind of look at Chiharu like they don't know if they recognize you or not. And then once Bonnie steps out, they kind of give you a wide smile and make their way over.
Do I know which side of my family is related to Chiharu's family? Like
Yes,
which
you know.
mother?
It is, we'll say, I'll let you pick, actually. It's your choice. Your choice.
I think maybe her other mother, the one who was out buying lawn gnomes.
Okay, so yeah, son. You do see that Sarah is a bit more athletic than Meridia, but very clearly not as athletic as the other people. You know that your mother is more of the yoga type, not the intense cardio type. But as they approach, they both look at you and they both come over to give you a hug. Hi, Bonnie. Chiharu, hello. I wish you had known. I would have baked you all something. But it's good to see you.
Mother, mother.
It's good to see you.
Right. Well, we weren't sure if we should bring something or not, but well, we've come, and we'll bring something next time. I'm not sure if there's any dietary habits that we need to know about, nor were we sure how many people would be here.
Just meats, lots of meats. As long as you have a lot of meat prepared.
Maybe those fried tarantulas you made me for Halloween?
We agreed to never talk about that again.
I very much enjoyed them.
Do tell, what was that for trick or trading or?
Meridia looks at both of you and he goes, "No, absolutely not. That is not happening again. We are not doing that. Nope. No. Absolutely.
What about
not.
for my birthday?
You can't deny a birthday gift.
Roll a charisma and expression. Difficulty 7.
All right, we both get to roll it right. We can be both.
Can we do it as a team
request.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Bonnie's request, so it's gonna be Bonnie's roll.
But Chiharu is helping me.
No.
I want those
you gotta get a
fried
+1 or
tarantula
something
legs.
for a hype man. I'm just
You could have 1 extra dice for Chiharu.
hey, all right, something,
Okay.
something.
Yeah, something. Okay, cool.
You have extra dice.
Oh man, that's perfect.
They were my favorite snack.
I just would have.
Can I roll manipulation instead?
You want to manipulate your parents? Okay.
I give them I don't usually do this, but this is for the fried tarantulas. Their legs, so crispy. Not to even talk about their bodies, like the abdomens are like her favorite part.
Better than crickets. The little legs get stuck in your teeth.
Also like spider cookies thing.
Sure.
But so she never does this, but she gives puppy eyes. She gives the I'm your little girl eyes that you saved from sacrifice as a baby.
Lean it on hard.
You saved my life
You could roll it.
and raised me as your own.
Oh god.
Wait a second.
That
Oh no.
Wait a second. I don't.
Right,
Wait, no,
correct.
I didn't. I rolled charisma, not manipulation.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Sure, you did.
Only one. It said die pool 1.
Hmm. Yeah, it looks like it was an incorrect amount of dice.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
2 successes.
You see, Meridia is very much against this idea, and as you lay it on a little thick, it's a little much. But
I
you
bat
see,
my eyelashes.
you see Sarah kind of puts a hand on her shoulder, and she looks at both of you, almost ready to beat both of you up. But you can see she begins it kind of begins to wear her down. It ruined my kitchen last time.
You can make them here.
One more time. That's it. One more time.
Chiharu will behind the back offer a high five to Bonnie as mission complete.
Yep. Bonnie gives the biggest grin.
Yeah.
She never smiles, but she gives the biggest grin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little unsettling, actually.
And so Chiharu says, "It's been a while. When has we last seen one another? I was told you had an interesting experience jogging. Is that correct?"
Nope. It was a wonderful time. Very enlightening.
Perfect. I'm glad it was. Well, come inside. I'm pretty sure my family is waiting.
And
Yeah.
you make your way into the main building. Yeah, and you do as you see as you enter. There are a small group of people. You don't immediately recognize them as they don't seem to be related to you. But you see there's a woman who has her back towards you. You can make out the kind of shorter bob cut of her hair, and she's wearing a very nice but kind of loose fitting white and black dress. And you hear her, "All right, expand the people looking over the park to 7 people. Keep an eye on those homes. Keep an eye out for anyone who goes missing. I have to get ready. I am expecting a visitor soon. So please take care of that, and I will meet with you later." And you recognize her voice in more soft-spoken nature, Chiharu. And you recognize Akari. And as she kind of turns and she looks at you. Oh, and here they are. How are you all doing?
Well, I'm doing great. And they step forward and they, of course, give her a huge hug.
I am glad to see you've made it back safely and quickly. And I take it, Bonnie, I'm glad you were able to join us as well. And Meridia and Sarah, it has been far too long. Now you see Sarah and Meridia are kind of politely smiling, and then Sarah looks at and goes, "It has been very long, but what is the saying? Better late than never." And you see Sarah kind of looks over, and you see her kind of not quite take a step back, but lean just far enough back to break line of sight with Meridia, and she mouths something. If you wish to try and catch what she says, you can roll a perception and alertness roll at difficulty 6.
Oh, I'm good with that. Okay. Cool. Ooh. There you go. I was previous roll had no successes.
I got 2 successes.
5.
All right. Bonnie, you make out bits and pieces. You can tell that she mouths to not let them do something. You aren't sure what that last part was. Chiharu, you catch it pretty cleanly, and you catch that she says, "Don't let them use the kitchen." And you see Akari is like, "Right, well, please, there is a room, there's sitting space here. I will have someone bring some water, and we can take a load off and see what's going on."
Perfect. Is it all right if we have a bit of snacks coming by? There's a particular dish that Bonnie was asking for.
I heard you
Yeah.
like protein.
Yes, I suppose that is true.
Well, this dish is full of protein, and it's one of my favorites.
Oh, well, we will be as accommodating as we can.
Be prepared for tarantula.
What is your dot in alertness?
3.
I have 2.
Noted. She leads you all to a kind of a main seating area. There doesn't seem to be a table here, and you see that there are several chairs and kind of loungers, as well as small mats that are kind of set out across the room. And you know, Chiharu, you know that they are for some people who prefer to sit more on the ground versus some people who prefer to sit in chairs.
Mm-hmm.
And as you all are able to make yourselves seated, right? Well, I will have someone look into that. But was this meant to be more of a social call, or are you all in need of something?
Well, yes, we plan to be in Cleveland for an undisclosed period of time. We're not 100% sure. And I was wondering if Bonnie and I could stay here during this time.
Well, I'm sure we can arrange for that for some time. The residential areas aren't full. Do you know how long? I guess you wouldn't. Oh, I suppose we can talk about it later if it becomes an issue.
I will tell you more as time progresses. Right now, there's a lot of people, so
That's fine.
Is there by any chance any creatures in this forest?
There are some animals, sure. Some deer, rabbits,
Any
probably
of
some
the
wild
supernatural
cats as
sort?
well. Huh? Nothing comes to mind. Are you
Discipline.
looking for something?
Yes. I was hoping there'd be a chupacabra or two, perhaps a wendigo. Nevertheless, I'm happy to be sleeping in the forest outside.
Oh, you are welcome to sleep in the forest as much as you like. I don't think any spirits are in the forest nearby.
What a shame.
But I suppose that could be. But yes, well, sure. Right. So a place to stay is no issue. And it is for the two of you, or will four of you be staying?
I was not certain if the others would be allowed. I wanted to ask your permission first, or the family's permission first, before.
You have more people.
Yes, my group is of 4 individuals total. We all are of the same type.
Roll. You can make a charisma and expression roll at difficulty 8.
Okay. 8? Ooh.
I believe in you, fam.
Can I also assist by saying something?
What do you say?
She's going to say she's going to put a hand on their shoulder and say, Chiharu and I have been in the same cabal with our companions for quite some time, a few years actually. And I think we can both vouch for their trustworthiness.
You can have a dice, an extra dice for the roll.
Perfect. Now to clarify, who's all in the room when she made that statement?
There's you two, and then Meridia and Sarah are still present.
Okay, so Chiharu's eyes is wide in a second because he was unaware of Bonnie's parents being aware of our lineage, and so you just see a slight eyebrow raise, almost like the people's eyebrows before when he hears that. But yeah, he of course makes a statement, and you said, "You know what? I'm going to spend a willpower to give me a guarantee 1 success because this is a high difficulty." You said difficulty 8, right?
I did difficulty 8.
Okay.
Don't forget your 1 extra dice.
Yes. Thank you for that 1 extra dice. That gave me 3 successes.
Is it 3 successes total or 4 successes total?
3 successes total. That's including the willpower. So 2 successes plus the willpower.
We can arrange a space for you or friends. They will have to stay in pre-approved areas, but we can manage it.
Of course. And I will make sure they do not enter more sensitive locations. I promise you that.
Of course.
Where are the others?
Oh, your sister is out. I think she joined what was it, a roller derby team? I don't fully understand it, but apparently she enjoys it. So
I almost feel sorry for the other team. Almost. Well, when the next game come, I would definitely like to see.
you are not the first person to say that, and I will let you know.
And all right. And if you need any help around the house or anything I can help with, I'm yours.
I will let you know.
And, yeah. And they'll kind of sit on to Tommy Matt, watching the others outside. They give kind of the thumbs up to Bonnie before sending a text to. It'll be a group text because we're all on a same group text. So they'll send in a group text. The family says everything's okay. You all can stay at the household if you wish. Get out, enter certain sensitive areas though. I'll have to make sure those areas that cross. But yeah.
Bonnie immediately goes to look for sensitive areas.
Right.
right. Immediately?
No, actually, no, not immediately.
Oh,
I will
okay.
send a separate text to Erik, one asking if he wants to find some cemeteries in Cleveland. If he wants to find some cemeteries in Cleveland, he can make a list of 5. I'll make a list of 5. We'll go splunking in the weekends. And 2, we need to find these sensitive areas that Chiharu is talking about.
So I'm assuming you're saying this is a 2-part message. So first, make a list of cemeteries I want to visit. I reply back 100%. We should find these sensitive areas. I reply back 1000%.
I reply back with I reply back with a
Okay emoji.
an okay emoji. But it's a black okay emoji.
Like my heart.
Like my heart.
Speaking of which, our focus is going to follow the other 3 members of our group here, actually, as Erik, Oliver, and Ari. You all are making your way to the location of the node. Did you all also call in an Uber for your travel?
I'm okay jogging. No, I called an Uber. Yeah, I definitely called.
I'm definitely not a jogger. I mean, you can jog. I'll hop
Come
on.
on,
your back.
Oliver, keep up.
We are not
Oh,
jogging to the cemetery.
He says for Oliver to keep up as Oliver leans over his shoulder and goes, "Okay," and starts whipping him with his cane.
God damn. Yes, we took an Uber.
Okay. Your Uber is not quite as comfortable as the other one. It's a bit smaller. It's one of those older 4-star cars. It even has the windows that you have to hand crank down instead of an automatic window. So
But it was
it's
cheap.
a bit of a. It was.
But we saved a couple bucks, and that's really what we were going for. So the win. We won.
Frugal is a strength. So my question for you two is: would you be having this person take you directly to the address, or would you be stopping before the address? How would you like to approach?
Don't see a need to stop before the address unless we're passing a cemetery. Then I would like to stop and make a note. But I won't visit it without Bonnie. So I won't, just mark it. Just make it my list. Just make it my list.
He marks on his Google Maps.
I'm dropping a pin. Yeah.
All right, good. As you all are approaching, you do find the area you're going to is also very kind of rural. It's much more suburban, and as you kind of get there, you find the houses are spaced out by maybe half, maybe 2 lots almost. And as you approach, you find that one is a larger house, not quite a mansion, but definitely bigger than a regular 1-family home. And you see that just looking at it, everything seems to be good. But you do see that out front there is a group of people. It looks to be like 5 of them on one side, and there seems to be a woman in kind of like a black suit holding a briefcase who seems to be across from them, talking to them as you pull up. If you wish to attempt to eavesdrop on their conversation, I need for you to make a perception and alertness roll.
You know what? I am definitely an eavesdropper. Perception and alertness. Where would those be? So perception, mental, and where's alertness? Talent. Okay, got it. Is there a difficulty?
6.
So that's 3 successes.
3. Oliver, did you make a roll?
Yeah, let me go. Actually, I don't know as though. Said wits and awareness.
Perception and
Perception,
alertness.
Perception awareness. Sorry.
Wits awareness. What game are you playing? No.
I mean, it would be the same. Let's see here. Boop. Wait, did you see DC 6? Doesn't matter. 2 1s.
You don't hear anything. You kind of catch like a bad gust of wind that kind of muffles what they're saying just a bit, and you could definitely make out that they are speaking to each other, but you can't make out the words. And Erik, how many did you say you got?
I got 3.
3 successes. You can make out most of the conversation. You hear the woman on the right go, "Yes, Miss Evangeline, it appears that we can't find the proper records for who originally owned this plot of land, and everything seems to be in order. So if no one else makes a bid here, it will be yours and you and your families by the end of the week." Then you see the other woman go, "Well, that is very fortunate. Just stroke of luck. Well, please keep us updated. We would greatly appreciate getting our hands on this property as soon as possible. It is just beautiful and just out of the way to raise a proper family in peace."
Oliver, we should buy this house.
Don't let them hear you.
I was whispering. I was whispering.
You see Erik is doing her best to maintain a respectable air around both of you. And you do see that the group kind of looks over and acknowledges you, but they don't say anything. And then the 2 women kind of finish up their conversation, and you see the 2 groups kind of split to go their own separate ways.
So can I assume that this Miss Evangeline's like a real estate agent?
Evangeline is the woman that was speaking, but you think the woman in the suit, whose name you haven't heard, is probably a real estate agent, yeah.
Got it. Okay. So Miss Evangeline is the buyer?
Yes, based on what you've heard. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when, and I'll say this in character, when Michaela was mentioning that someone wanted to buy the property in Cleveland. Why don't they just buy the property and not have to worry about someone else buying the property? Why do they not own the property the note is on?
That's a good question.
I mean, I think we should just put in a bid anyways. They're going to pay for it. Like, we don't have to use our own money.
You are welcome to that. But based on what you were told, they should have owned the property. At least from the way that Michaela was speaking about it, you would figure they would own it. But you are more than welcome to attempt to place a bid. Okay.
I mean, I would have figured that, but then she was like, someone's trying to buy the property, but which wouldn't be possible if you owned said property.
Now we're cooking with gas. The more you know.
No. Can I Zillow the property? Can I just like what are homes going for in this neighborhood? Like, can I
modern mage problems, sir? Sure, you could use your home buyer of choice. But you find that the current bid on this property was just recently placed, actually, and it's about 50,000 at the moment. And as you kind of find that's a pretty low for a home, especially in this area, you find that it was very recently owned.
50,000?
Yeah. And you see
right now.
You see that it was very recently owned, and then apparently there was an error, and whoever owned it previously abandoned it. You see that just by pulling up kind of like the recent history of the property.
This abandoned property, which is probably why it's going so cheap. Because I mean, abandoned properties are maybe a step above foreclosure, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the people separate and walk their own way, right? They're exiting the line.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I say, Oliver, we should probably go check out this house and see if it's worth 50 grand. I could drop 50 grand right now. Easy.
Well, I mean, if it's a powerful node, then that makes it worth far more than 50 grand.
Now we're cooking with gas.
But
I'd like to
don't let the real estate agent know.
No, we'll check it out first. Just let them go around. It's abandoned apparently, right? So I mean, technically, there's no owner at the moment.
Exactly.
So I mean, are we really breaking and entering? I mean,
it's all a matter of perspective.
Exactly.
I mean, we could just go talk to the real estate agent too.
Well, let's check out the node. Let's check out the node first. That's what we're here for.
Sure. Yeah.
And that real estate agent's there to help them, not. I mean,
well, I mean, they're there to sell the house, right? So,
not necessarily. There's a real estate agent for the buyer, and there's a real estate agent for the seller, right? Well, I guess if there's not a seller, they'd just be buying. God, who would they buy an abandoned property for? The city, I'm assuming.
The bank, maybe. I don't know.
Probably the bank.
Yeah.
Which should have its own real estate agent. So we should go.
Could be the city bank.
Could be the city bank. Let's go check out the house. I'd like to approach the house.
Yeah. No, I agree.
If your goal is to break in adjacent to this home, roll me dexterity and stealth.
Oh,
can we be clear? I mean, we can rush to the inside of the house, but let's check the door. Is it locked? This abandoned house?
Yes, you do see that the door is locked. Yes,
probably has one of those real estate lock thingies on it.
Yeah, yes, it has one of those little box locks on it.
And Erik, you don't happen to have any particular set of skills, do you?
I have a particular set of skills. The skills that I have are not useful here. My hands are very delicate. These are surgeon's hands. I don't think I have anything that would really help us out here. How about if we're going to do a stealth break-in, I'd like to go to the back of the house. Is there a back door?
There's definitely
off the street would definitely be more worth it. Yeah. So let's go to the back of the house, check the door. I'm going to assume that it's locked. Is this a one-story house or a two-story house?
It is one story, but it's longer.
Got it.
So, yeah, it's that one story long style.
All right.
Dexterity and stealth.
It's dexterity and stealth.
Do we notice any stickers that say like alarm system on the windows, or like little posted things?
Or it's I'm gonna say no. You don't see any of the security company flags.
Hey Oliver, how's your dexterity and stealth? Because mine's shit.
Well, my dexterity's good.
I have a 3 dice pool.
Oh, okay.
We
well,
are
I have 4,
continuing the trend of being defeated by doors. I see, very very on brand.
We'll get this one. We'll get this one.
Let's see here.
Yeah, if you want to give it a go, you'd have better luck.
Well, there's nobody watching, right? We're here.
I mean, not that I could see.
Not that
That's
we
why
can
we went to the
see,
back
right?
door. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to be sneaky, right? At least we as sneaky as we think we are. You know,
As long as you don't do something that draws attention to yourself, you will be unobserved.
Yes. Well, it's
So you
good.
picking this lock, or how are you breaking into this house?
Well, is it? What kind of a door is it? Is it like a solid door, or is this like a back door with like a glass window?
Yes, it is. It's wooden. The door itself is wooden, and then you have that central pane that is kind of made of that kind of designed glass.
Design glass
to
Fancy.
describe.
This is like stained glass.
Not quite stained glass. It's kind of like foggy glass. That's kind of like, I don't know how to describe what type of door this
like
is.
bathroom glass.
Kind of.
Frosted, I guess. I don't know what the hell we call it.
Yeah, we'll call it frosted glass. That's what I think that's called in other context. I'll look up my door design.
It's okay.
For the next game.
All right. Well, I think Oliver is going to look at the door, and he's going to see about maybe if he can.
When you break the glass, I'll cough really loud. No one will know.
Well, let's see if we can let's see if we can maybe use some more mundane actions before we become barbarians, shall we? This is gonna go. So what's the DC? 6 or 7 or 12?
6.
Okay.
6.
12 DC.
It's just a standard door. It's the regular
door.
door.
4 success.
Okay. But so you find
it was just unlocked. I don't know.
You find that the person who locked the back door did not quite snap it down all the way. So you were able to just kind of apply just a little bit of pressure, and you're able to kind of pop it back open. You think it'll even close up properly once you leave.
Yeah, he's probably just
well, look at that, Oliver. Looking good, buddy.
Well, you know, sometimes it's the little things, yes. Some people need to be a little more careful.
After you.
Indeed. As Oliver kind of pushes the door open with the end of his cane and kind of gingerly, you know, tries to quietly walk in the house.
Okay. As you enter, the first thing you find is that everything looks remarkably well furnished. It's very clearly empty. It's very clear there's no like signs of living here, but everything seems to be very well cleaned. It almost looks as if it was prepared for someone to live in here at a moment's notice. And as you kind of make your way through the home, you find that there are places where furniture could have been. There's no dust. There's no smells. Everything seems very well cared for. And I have you both make me a willpower roll at difficulty 7.
Wait, what now?
It's always a good sign.
What just happened?
You're about to find out. You're going to learn today.
Oh my God. Okay, it's not bad. Difficulty 7, you said, right?
Yeah.
Difficulty 7.
5 successes. These dice are way better than Roll20.
0 successes on my
I don't know what to talk about. I'm fine.
All right.
The roll's name was God No.
All right. So for Erik, you get this kind of feeling. The hair on the back of your neck begins to stand up, and you just feel kind of creeped out, but you aren't sure what's causing it. Like you look around and everything seems normal, but there's this kind of like underlying discomfort. Oliver, you feel afraid. You look around and you keep expecting almost for something to be around every corner. you kind of feel like there's almost like a hand that seems to touch you or touch you around your neck, and as you kind of snap around, nothing's there, and you kind of shiver. You aren't sure what it is, but being in this house is absolutely creeping you out.
I wonder what kind of node this is. It's very strange. You getting this strange feeling, Erik? Like someone's watching us.
No.
Oh, nobody's there.
Are you feeling all right, Oliver?
I just got this very strange feeling. It's you ever feel like you're being watched?
All the time. Not right now, but yes, I do. That's why you got to put a little piece of tape over your webcam.
That's good advice, but I don't feel like webcams are the problem here. I don't know how to explain it.
You said this house is furnished, well furnished. Is it dusty or is it clean? Like, is it in good shape?
It looks really good. No dust, no dirt. Everything looks
Like just
perfect.
completely immaculate.
Perfect. I would also like to ask, what is a node? How does it make quintessence? And what would I be looking for?
A node is a source of magical energy. You would know that they are less common than they used to be, and they can look like just about anything. They are usually created from intense emotions. Some powerful mages are said to be able to make them themselves. You know, for this one in particular, it should be beneath the house. So you would be looking for a bookcase somewhere in the basement that should lead you down towards it.
Got it. Okay. Well, then I would suggest, Oliver, you just take a breath, calm down, do a little Chiharu meditation. It always seems to help me. If you need to take a moment, that's fine, but I'm going to go ahead and look how to get into the basement.
Well, I mean, it's basement, right? There's got to be a door to the basement. I mean, all the houses around these areas have basements or cellars of some sort.
Then it should be really easy to find. Well, I'm going to look for a basement door.
I don't know if it's safe though. We need to. Something is.
I feel
on.
completely safe. I mean, if I was looking for a place to stay, I would just stay here. 50 G's, Oliver. 50 G's. We could do. You want to go halvesies on a property with me?
Yeah, no, this is a beautiful place for that
I'm
much.
just-
And I mean, it's just
Comes furnished. That's, you know how much money we're saving there? It's already furnished. We're not going to buy the stuff.
It's just something off about this place. You might have to get them to knock the price down.
We'll see about it. Let's find the node first. Is there an obvious door, or is it something I gotta look for? Okay.
It's a very clear door that will lead you into the basement. Yeah, it looks pretty good, honestly. It looks like somebody either just painted it or had been freshly cleaning it. Oliver, you shiver as you kind of look at the door. It feels like every horror movie you've ever seen.
You know, there's never really been any. You ever watch scary movies? This feels like the start of one.
Yes, they bring me a lot of peace.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, yeah.
It's not often I get to witness the end of someone's cycle, but I kind of feel like I get a glimpse into it whenever I watch a scary movie. It's very calming.
Little
channeling my inner Bonnie right now.
little Texas Chainsaw Massacre to bring you some inner peace.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sure we'll have some more weird times, Erik.
After you,
though,
right here. This is where the note is. This is what we're here for.
You open up if he opens the door up, is there like a light switch at the top of the stairs?
Oh,
or something?
it's broken. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, yes, there is a light switch, and the light does come on. It looks fine.
Damn it.
It almost looked like the basement was intended to be like fully furnished. It doesn't seem to be completely full finished because part of it is carpet and part of it isn't. But looks good for a basement.
Not all dusty or anything, or cobwebs everywhere.
No, looks fine.
I guess we'd have to get in there first to notice that.
I will. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Oliver's apprehensive. I will take the lead down into the basements, and he can follow me.
All right.
I'm not massive, but I'm like
Be
6
quiet, be
foot
quiet.
and in decent shape. Like, you know, I'm like,
Shh, don't let them know you're coming.
You make your way down and you look around, Erik, and it looks really good. Like this looks like it could be like a sitting room in and of itself. It's decently sized, about the same size as the living room upstairs. You can see that like there would have been. You could probably put like a TV down here. It looks pretty good, and you do see.
so is this
off on
like
one
got its
wall-
own rooms, or is it like a really good sized man cave?
It would be a good man cave with like a laundry room attached to it.
You're just getting ideas. You know, I'm going to be a property owner. We got to start thinking about these things now, right? We got to get the contract.
You do see in the corner of one wall there is a bookcase.
Can I, whatever the equivalent of an arcana check is, can I sense where the man? Sorry, I gotta go with what I know. Can I sense where this note is? If there's still a source of power down here?
Do you have?
Yes, you would. So there is a sphere that you can use to search for that, but you also do know that
I probably don't have it. Then,
the-
yeah.
Do you have Prime?
you do know
I think it's
that
Prime.
you were told. You all were told that the node is supposed to be in a staircase that you would be able to find from a bookcase.
Oh, we had instructions.
Well,
Okay.
Very specific instructions. Yeah.
And so since we were on the topic of movies, have you ever seen the movie Clue or any of these?
I believe it's Colonel Mustard in the basement with a wrench.
Yes, or perhaps behind this bookshelf. And I pull a random book. Nope, not that one. I pull another book. Nope. Just get 1 sec.
So you just throwing them on the ground.
I'm just yanking on the corner of books.
You just throwing them on the ground.
The fifth,
It's one of these.
the fifth book
fifth
you
book.
find does open, and as you get to pull it out, you hear the hinges kind of not quite creak, but you hear them pull, and then the bookcase begins to swing forward, and there is a staircase right there.
See, I told you.
How much does
Time
it
to
swing
charm.
forward? Does it swing forward enough to like crush the books that he threw off the shelf on the floor?
No. It's enough for a full person to fit through, but it isn't a full open. It doesn't go all the way to
Swing,
the
yeah.
other side.
Or 2 Olivers.
Mm,
Sorry, short jokes.
more like
Two and a half.
Sure. Not gonna do it. But do you all wish to descend?
I will, courtesy to Oliver, I will look for a light switch.
There's a light switch. And it comes on.
When he turns to say something to me about the light switch, he catches Oliver dusting off the books and carefully putting them all back on the bookshelf, arranged as best he can by author in alphabetical order.
I touched 5 books. It's a whole book shelf of books. I touched 5.
Yeah, but
Five
but
books.
whoever was taking care of this did not do a good job. These books are horribly organized, and it needs to be fixed.
Oliver, focus. We have a job to do. Focus.
We do have a job to do. It's fixing
You
these
can
damn books.
spend your first week living here with me, roomie. Okay, reorganizing books.
I'll just be a minute. I'll just be a minute.
I give him his minute, but I don't wait. I go down the book or the spiral staircase.
It's okay.
Erik.
It's okay. You just
Erik, do you have any dots in the awareness trait?
Yes. Wait,
As
awareness. Yes, I do. Yes.
Awareness. The awareness talent, excuse me, not trait.
yeah.
As you step into the staircase, you feel a wave of it can only be described as negative emotion. It's almost as if as soon as you step foot, corruption begins to kind of not quite wash over you. There isn't quite that much, but it almost like it wafts past you coming from down below you. And you begin to hear what sounds almost like chattering or chittering beneath you. And that is where we're going to end our adventure for the evening.
Oh. I was going to say, it feels like home down there. Darkness and despair, is that what I'm feeling? A wave of corruption and death. Finally,
join us
I
next
found
week
my
to
dream
find-
home.
We'll have to join us next week to find out. But that is where we will stop our lovely adventure here. So it's time for me to go ahead and let all these wonderful people tell you what they're up to, and then we will find somebody to raid. And we will start. We'll start this time with Carly.
Hi. What am I supposed to do?
Just let
Outros.
introduce yourself again. Yes. If you have anything you're working on, any projects you want people to check out, feel free to plug them. And that's it.
Kind of the same as the first time because, just in case some people came in late kind of thing.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm Carly and I'm playing Bonnie. You can find me on Twitter at Carly Plays Games. And yeah, I don't currently have anything going on, but just having fun.
All right. Next up, Kira.
Hi, I'm Kira858. This was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. You can be able to find all of my content on twitch.tv/Kira858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs on YouTube. We're heading to, in terms of projects, we're heading to the penultimate episode of Marvel's The New Vanguard. That was featured special guest Sam DeLeff. So definitely check that out. It's going to be a fantastic episode. You can also find me on Thursdays at the GR Crew doing a TTRPG on the show The Expanse. So if you ever see the sci-fi show from Amazon Prime, we're utilizing the Expanse RPG system and placing our own little foothold in the Expanse world. So definitely go ahead and check that out. And yeah, of course, you can catch this over at Arethian Nights, where we're having our season finale this Sunday. And there's going to be a few new projects that'll be coming up in the near future. But you can keep an eye out for all of the content I'm working on Twitter at the Kira858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs. And that's me.
All right. Next up, Sir Monolith.
Hi, I'm at Sir Monolith, and you can catch me at the moment pretty much in next week for the end of this season's Arethian Nights. And definitely keep tuning in for Mage if you like it, because I have a feeling it's going to continue to be a lot of fun. And then just keep an eye on Ree's channel to see what new stuff is going to be coming in the future, because he's always busy finding cool new things to do.
Such kindness. All right. Last but not least, Quinn.
Hello again. I'm Quinn playing Erik. You can find me on Twitter at QSellers. You could find me here playing Mage for the first time ever. And hopefully soon on other channels. Looking forward to that Marvel Season 2 there, Kira. Throwing that hint out there. I know you're getting ready for it. Just saying, I had a blast playing with it at Comic-Con. It was a ton of fun. So, but in the meantime, yeah, I'll be here every week. So, check you next time.
All right. And with that, our story has come to its end for this week. So please join us next week to continue this, as well as on Sunday for Arethian Nights. And keep your eyes open. There may be new and more interesting, well, not more interesting, differently interesting things for you to discover. But for now, we are going to raid Dork Tales. So please go over and let them know that we're watching and support them. And I believe they're playing D&D. So see you next time.